Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Try It Tuesday and we have a bunch of things on my desk. I will explain them a little bit and then we have a special guest. We're going to be taught how to use all of these things that I have on my desk to color. So we are not going to color with pencils or markers or paint or anything else during the Try It Tuesdays for the next couple of weeks. We are going to do a segment on coloring with paper. So this is a technique called quilling, and we're going to have a special guest every Tuesday come on and teach us how to color with paper. So this is the paper we're going to be using. This is just all-purpose heavyweight construction paper. I had a packet of this in my paper stash from when I had children here. So this is just regular old construction paper. You can buy it at the craft store, or if you have it laying around, use it. You can slice it up into 1 centimeter or 5 millimeters, so 10 millimeters or 5 millimeters. Mine are not even close to measured properly, so we're going to see if I can do this with I think there's like some 9 millimeters and 7 millimeters and 4 millimeters. It's not close, but I have cut some up. A couple of different colors and a couple of different sheets, and we're going to be using this today. I may go through with another type of paper cutter and try to get them thinner for the next one. We are going to do a couple of different segments of this, so today's segment is just going to be our very basic things to create with paper, and then next week will be a little bit more advanced. And then the next week after that, we're going to start putting it together and coloring something with it. All right, so the things that you're going to need, of course, is some shredded paper. Don't tear it, cut it into strips of either 5 millimeter or 1 centimeter, 10 millimeters. I would suggest 5 millimeters for this, just to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to work with. 10 millimeters can be a little thick. If you have any sort of tweezers, I have a few different types of tweezers because Bob has tweezers for the printing stuff. So there's a set of needle nose tweezers that are bent. And of course our guest will be going through all of the things that we need as well, just to show us what we need and why. This is a set of the needle nose tweezers that are straight, and then a set of flat tweezers. Not exactly sure if I need all of these, but I have them, so I figured I'd drag them out. A proper comb. We may or may not get to this part, but it is something that you will need during this what is the word I'm looking for? Words are hard, people. Words are hard. Series. That's the word I'm looking for. You will need a comb for the series, whether it be next week or the week after or this week. I'm not quite sure which one we'll get to that point. Of course, a set of fiddly scissors. Little scissors to cut fiddly things. I was gifted these scissors by Della so that I could actually do this because I didn't have any fiddly scissors. So now, thank you, Della. I have the fiddly scissors, and we will be using them on Try It Tuesday for the next little while. Thank you. I appreciate that. Of course, we need some glue. I've got some Mod Podge here, and you can use any glue. You can use Elmer's glue, you can use any type of glue that you want. If you don't have glue, look up a recipe and go into the kitchen and make some paste. You can definitely do that as well. It will work just as well. These are all things that you may or may not have around the house. If you don't have tweezers around the house, don't worry about it. Just use your regular tweezers from your medicine cabinet for picking up things. If you don't have glue, make some. If you don't have construction paper, use your cardstock for printing or just regular printer paper will work. Another thing that you're going to want to have around, and I know most of us have one of these either in this format for making bubbles or um, doing the bokeh backgrounds. This is one that you can purchase off of Amazon. It turns, and Emily actually enticed me with that one. Another one that you can use is just a straight drafting circle template. So all you need is a circle template, whether it be this one here that we use typically for bokeh backgrounds, or this one here, which we can also use for bokeh backgrounds. So you can use that or this. I'm going to use this one because it stands up off the desk a little bit. All right, so who is ready? I think I am. Who's ready for the guest? So we're going to pause for just a moment and bring in our guest, and then we will start. So I will be right back with our guest. So just a one moment. Okay, so we have a guest with us today who is going to teach us how all of these things that we have on our desk right now, all of these things that we've gathered from around the house, how we can color with paper. It's called quilling, and Sam is going to teach us how to do the basics of quilling. And then throughout the next couple of weeks, we're going to try to color with paper. And I
Yes.
think we'll succeed. Sam has
Yes.
done some beautiful work with coloring with paper, and it's her fault that I even thought that this was possible. So we will blame her.
Okay. I will take the blame. I
You
will
will
take
take
the
the
blame.
blame.
I'll
All
take the
right.
blame.
So, Sam, what do I need to start with
Well,
for the first one?
basics for the
Yep.
first one.
Yep.
Glue can either be in a little bottle
Yep.
or in a jar. I prefer a jar sometimes because
Well,
then
I have a big jar of Mod Podge.
perfect. Paintbrush,
Yep, have one of those.
any type. Paintbrush, perfect. A thing of water.
Oh, well, I don't have that.
Well, it can be it can be handy just to
Can
rinse your
be
brush
handy.
off after after it gets a bit of
Too much glue
glue
or
on it,
whatever.
too much
Okay.
glue on it. Put that away. Put that back on because I am liable
To dump it over.
to dump it over. Now, if you don't, it's fine. Slotting tool, which is what this is. If you don't have that, you can either use some tweezers,
Tweezers. I got those.
yeah, or if you really want to be fiddly and have a really small hole, like say like what this coil has got. It's got a very, don't know if you can see, but it has a very, very tiny hole.
Uh-huh.
Then there's my pen. Then you can use a pen.
Okay.
It's a little fiddly, but it can be done.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for the advanced class. Um,
Oh, okay, advanced class. Okay. So next week you will be using a pen, some scissors,
got those.
um, of course your cooled paper.
Uh-huh.
Now I know you have cut your own paper.
Uh-huh.
You can cut your own paper to size being
Whatever
width,
size you can cut it.
whatever size you can cut it. 3 mil is a little too small
Yes, yes.
because
3 mil is
that's
tiny.
that's tiny and very fiddly.
Yeah, I will wait to the advanced
You
class to do the fiddly.
advanced class, 3 mil and a pen for the advanced class next week. I'm going to be middle class and use 5 mil.
Yeah, exactly. So I have cut a bunch of basically just children's construction paper. That's going to work, right?
Yes, that'll work because it's a little bit thicker than just normal copy paper. As you can
Right.
see, it's really flimsy, and you'll find it won't hold its shape, and it'll really crease easy. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean, if you've got it, great. It's a great way to start.
Right.
If you only have just your normal paper, that's how I started, and quickly went, I want to do this, but I want my work to look a little bit better than
Then this,
what it
yeah.
is now. But it is a great place to start if you only have normal normal
Copy
paper,
paper. Yeah.
normal copy paper.
Okay.
So those who have kids or have had kids,
Uh-huh.
you have the. I think I have some here. I did have some here. I did have some here. Come here. Yoink! Like you,
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's exactly
craft,
what it is.
the
Yeah.
craft paper. And also, as you can probably tell, it's pretty thick,
Yeah.
so it will hold its shape. And
Okay.
of
Yeah.
course, you've got fun colours to start
Lots
with.
lots of different colors. See,
Lots of different
I I
colours.
I cut all sorts of them. I've got
Yeah.
purple and orange and white and green.
Rainbow colours, perchance.
Rainbows.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if also something to hold your coil in.
I got a
Um,
round thingy
yeah, a round thingy,
to make
or if you have
bubbles.
exactly. um, I can't remember where I got this from.
It's a drafting tool, I do believe.
Yeah, it is. I think I may have got it from news agency or um one of your craft stores.
Yeah. Yeah,
That I got off of Amazon. That one.
I have one of those as well, but I got this one off of Amazon. It's all Emily's fault.
Yes, we have got it on Emily. If you do have one of these,
Uh-huh.
it is, as you can see, mine's all
Yeah. It's got
ankles,
tape.
because I've got tape on it or
Yeah.
had tape on it. 'Cause you want it to stand a little bit up,
Yeah.
because when you put your coil in, if you're not
Pops right out.
careful, it pops straight out.
Yeah,
It's like,
I tried it. It was like boing.
and it just springs straight back out. Another thing, if you have at home, is a comb.
I have one.
Um, this works just as well as this, which is covered in cat food. Pardon me, my cat's decided, yes, I like this.
I'm
Is
gonna
an actual
brush my
quilling
hair
comb.
with it.
Exactly. Is an actual quilling comb. Now, of course, this works wonders. It is all down to, I'll get my words right, personal
Uh-huh.
preference.
Uh-huh.
I prefer this
Right.
because the teeth or
Or
prongs are a little bit closer together than what the
right.
quilling combs are.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed a lot of other quillers
Prefer the
prefer
comb.
prefer the comb, or even the dog groomer comb.
Okay. Yep.
It's, I guess it's about this size. I've got 3 on order actually.
Yeah, it's about this size, but it's metal, right?
Yeah, it's metal. It's got like a
Yeah.
metal, and it's still got the smaller prongs and the wider ones, or the small ones,
Yeah.
or the wider ones.
Right.
It's just that on the end, it doesn't have the thick one like it does on, the human
Right.
comb.
Right.
So when you do start off some projects, you can actually start off on the end, and it'll look great.
Right.
So,
And
so
I think the groomer comb also has um the same depth all the way down. Like if you look at your comb, it sort of tapers,
yes, it's all.
where with the grooming comb, it's all one size.
Mhm. Oh, sorry, I had to have my coffee.
You are fine.
My coffee.
All right, so let's get started. So what do we do first? So I assume we need these. You have your tool. You
I
have your
have
fancy dancy
I
tool.
have my fancy dancy pink tool. I shall use said pink tool just to.
Okay.
Now, I, on the other hand, I've got tons of quilling. Well, not tons of. I have some quilling paper that I ordered. And
Yeah.
now, what also another thing what I'd like to do is it's just right at the end, just break a little bit off. That way, I don't know if you can see it. Might not be able to see it, but you see how the paper frays
Yeah.
after you've pulled it, so it's not that
Yeah.
straight, rigid line. It makes it easier to glue down your work,
If you have
and
a little
if you have like a little jagged edge, and you won't see the seam as much.
and now that's the end that you're going to glue, so it's the opposite
It
end
doesn't.
than
I
you
I do both ends,
okay.
so it really doesn't matter. Now I will use my said tool.
Okay. I'm going to use the tweezers.
You can really get this done before me because I can't find. Hello, help, 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 help. Okay. I got so used to doing this by my pen or just doing it by hand that there we go. And I mean, there are slotted tools, on the market that have part of the handle, so you just twirl it, so it's
Uh-huh.
easier on your hands.
Okay, so we just coil this all the way
Just
around, right?
coil it all the way around until you finish your piece, whichever length you have, because this stuff
And,
comes in all different
and
lengths.
you'd make sure that
Carefully,
it's tight as possible, right?
yes, if you just want your stock standard tight coil, which is what
But
you will begin with.
to start with, that's what we want to do is we
Yeah,
want to do it tight and then put it in the little thingamadoo.
yeah, and the little thingy bob. But basically, that is one thing. That is your tight coil.
Yeah.
So what I will do,
So you got that done faster than me. Wow.
oh,
I'm slow.
I've kind of, oh God,
You've
oh,
kind of had some practice in this.
I've had some practice because over the last
I'm
2 days I've coiled over 130 bits of small
oh
paper. See, if
goodness.
you don't hold it, look what happens. It goes sproink.
Go sprint.
So what you do, if it does
Okay.
do that, and you do want your tight coil,
Ah.
just pull on the end. See, told you.
No, no, I just pulled it
Actually,
out.
that curl is you can actually that's another quilling thing, that curl. So you've just done
Okay.
one. So congratulations. Keep that to one side. We might use that. I can't even do that. So well done.
The the best way to do that is wrap too tightly around your tweezers and
And then
pull
pull.
out.
And then pull it out. Exactly. You got to wrap it and then pull out quick. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
when you
Exactly.
when you do use your glue,
Uh-huh.
use it sparingly.
Uh-huh.
I'm just putting a little dab with my paintbrush and put it down on my wet rag because I can't find anywhere else to put it at the moment. And hold.
So what's the wet rag for?
The wet rag is for well, it's not actually wet. I should say
Damp.
damp. It could be a face towel, hand towel, a
It's a
rag of
rag.
some
It's fine.
kind,
It's a
so
cloth,
that it's
but
a
make sure
cloth.
it's
Yes,
cloth.
it's it's something. It's a cloth. I dampen it because you will get glue on your fingers,
Mhm.
and it's just an easy way just to, just to clean the glue off, and also somewhere to put your paintbrush if you've forgotten where to put it. And there you go. You have one.
Okay.
Take this
So,
bit of cardstock that I have, just so I can cover that up. There we go.
okay. So that's a tight coil
And that is your tight coil.
like this, right?
Yes. So you
Okay.
take it. You have you glued it?
Yeah, no, I haven't glued it.
Take a little bit of glue, not too much. Dab it on. Press it down for a few seconds.
There we go.
And there's your tight coil.
It's a very messy tight coil, but
It's a start.
all
I
right.
mean,
So
no coils like we couldn't
there's a
do it.
tight coil.
That's a tight coil.
I don't know what that's called, but I did one. Won't say what it looks like, but I did
To be brutally honest, I don't think I can remember what it is either.
one.
Yeah, that's a loose coil, and that's a loose coil.
Uh-huh.
And they're both done exactly the same. But
Okay.
as you can see, it's very different.
Yeah. All right. So
Uh,
the next one,
the next one
we do the
is
same thing.
you do the same thing. You get your piece of paper. Yoink, yoink. Rip the ends off. Actually, you could probably, have a jar to one side and put the little ends in a jar, and you can probably use it as confetti.
Uh-huh. All I need is personal confetti along with the dog confetti.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what dog confetti is? You have enough cat confetti.
Exactly. 3 cat confetti. I love it. Now, what I'm going to do, you may not have to do this, but sometimes with quilling paper, it's another quilling tool. I guess, I don't really know what you could, maybe a knife? Well, not a knife, but something solid, and run your strip through. It just
Uh-huh.
loosens it a little bit,
Okay.
so it's a little easier to coil. Or do what I do and throw it into my glue loop, but never mind. So it's a little bit easier to coil up. Now, you won't have this problem.
I think I've been coiling them around my tool a little too tight.
Yeah, just ease off the
Okay. I've
ease it
made
off.
another tight coil.
Well done. Okay, I'll be right with you. I'm just
Yeah.
coiling up. So you don't really even need to have any tools.
Yeah, you can do it by hand.
You
I'm gonna
can do it by hand. It is a little fiddly to start, but once you do it often enough, you can get fairly
fairly good
quick at
coil out of it.
this. I mean, when you're doing hundreds of these, it tends
Yeah.
to be good just to put something on to watch or to listen to, because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm staring out the window coiling a coil. People are going, what are you doing?
What are you staring at?
What are you staring at, woman?
Uh-huh.
Good. Also, the tension could be different, but it doesn't really matter.
Right.
To be honest, nearly done. Okay, now we have. You see the hole differences?
Yeah.
That was done via the slotted tool. That was just
Cool.
done by hand.
Yeah.
Now, there's two ways. We just want to open this a little bit. You can either use your fingers,
Oh, yeah.
take a chance and use your fingers, or take a chance and use your fingers. Kind of pinch it with both. I always have a finger underneath it in case it springs out. Just gently open up your fingers and your coil will start growing. Have it to where you think all the coils look somewhat similarly spaced apart.
Uh-huh. Well, that's
Then
as far
gently,
open as mine will go.
yeah, gently take your coil, bit of
And then we're
glue,
going to glue it, right?
yeah, just a bit of glue on the end. And then carefully stick it down. And that's basically known as a loose coil.
All right.
Yeah.
My loose coil got all mussed up.
Oh, well, it's on paper.
It's a loose coil.
There's
All
your
right.
loose coil. Now, there are many things you can do with this, but first we'll do a teardrop. So what you do is you take your loose coil,
Uh-huh.
you gently grab the small circle in the inside,
Uh-huh.
pull it to one side,
Down or up?
across.
Across.
You pull it
Okay.
across
Uh-huh.
like that, and then you pinch the other side.
Okay.
So it's like that.
So like this?
Yep.
Okay.
And there you have a teardrop.
Okay.
One teardrop.
I think I did it, maybe.
I think you did it too. Now, of course, you can, if you like, I'll probably do this later. You can curl the top of it, and you can also make more to make all different types of patterns.
All right. So let's try doing one of the curly ones.
Doing the curly ones. So take paper.
Now I'm going to try doing this by hand because I'm finding that the
Tweezers are a little bit.
tweezers are pinching it too tight.
I know what you could use. Silly me. Paintbrush. Paintbrush will work just as well.
Yeah, but
If you
my
like me.
paintbrushes are too thick.
It doesn't need to. All you need is just like say the edge. Put your paper over the top. Like if you were
Oh, first
quilling.
first doing this part.
Just for loosening it. Just something. I mean, I know people use scissors and stuff, but
I just use my
I
fingernail.
there you go. That everybody. Well, I get yeah. Fingernail will work just as well. Side of your scissors. There you go. Look,
There you
side
go.
of your
Yeah.
scissors will work. Put my lid out the way before I put my. I'll glue out the way before I put everything in my glue. Now, just use your. I don't know if you can see this. This is a little bit fiddly, but if you poke your fingernail in the end of it,
Uh-huh.
just so you start making. It's really hard to see.
Well, see, I've got
Start
that like that
making.
so far.
Yep, there you go. And just with your thumb and finger, start trying to
Coil it around.
coil it. And if you find it's the center's too wide, bring it back to the beginning and just push it in just that little bit more.
Yeah.
And then Try not to flatten the thing. And then you can start rolling it. I have to admit, I don't know how this would go with ordinary copy paper.
Probably have quite a few paper cuts.
Yeah, more than likely. I have found I did that, and I don't really get as many paper cuts as I used to now that I've got
Proper
the
quilling
super
paper?
proper quilling paper. I read that when I was researching this stuff, going, well, how heavy does the paper need to be? Some people use, depending on what you want to use it as, normal quilling paper can be from 80 pound, which is probably what, cardstock?
Yeah,
80
80
pound
pound
to like
cardstock. Yeah.
120. Um, when they start doing outlines, like I don't know if people have seen like the outline of a letter or
Yeah,
a word.
right.
So that stuff's made from heavier cardstock. That's what, 250?
Some really
No,
good stuff.
250 GSM. It's the good heavy cardstock stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I've got a coil.
You've got a
So
coil. Now, if you
what do we
like,
use this thing for?
what we do is try and find, depending on this, in a sense, it depends on the size of your
Well, mine's a little
coil.
bit smaller than yours because
It's
my
a little bit
my
smaller
papers.
than using a small hole.
Okay,
But you
so
try and put it in and just go, lift your finger up. Watch the magic unfold in front of your eyes. That is a little bit too small. That's, oh, mine just splined into oblivion. Here we go. Oh no.
okay.
Then what you can do is get your tweezers then, if you have them. Just makes it a
Uh-huh.
little bit easier if you do.
Uh-huh.
Put one bit in the hole, the other in the other side, and pick it up.
Oh, okay. Down in there.
That way,
Like that?
hopefully, you. I just say hopefully you won't lose the coil.
Yeah.
Again, take set glue.
Okay. So
Tiny
mine
bit
is really
more.
tightly coiled and it's not uncoiling at all.
Um, you could have coiled it a little bit tighter. You could also put it on the table
Uh-huh.
and tap it with your finger to let it loosen up a little bit. Now, if it doesn't do that, what you could there's another way you could do is in your, can't pick it up, whichever circle you used, you can put it back in the circle, and then you hang on, let me poke that back in. What you can do is put it back in your circle. I mean, this was already done. Use your tweezers,
Mm-hmm.
hold the coil a bit, and just try and tease. You can the coils apart.
Okay.
You can always try doing that.
Okay,
Failing
that's a
that,
little
of
better.
course. Failing that, of course, if you don't like it, you do what I do.
And make
Drop it in
another.
the bin next to me and do another one. It's paper.
Yeah. So that's looser. But
Yeah.
it's good to know how you can,
There
loosen
are
it
there
up.
are ways. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So loosen it
sometimes
up
it
and
does
then
take a
glue it.
fiddling. Yep. Sometimes, yes, it does take a little bit of finagling around.
And some glue on this end. And attach it to that end. Okay, a little bit more glue.
Ooh. Of course, if you don't have any glue in the house, you can always make your own.
Yes.
Flour, water, bit of salt. I don't recommend eating it.
Don't eat it.
Don't
Don't
eat
eat
it.
the paste.
Don't eat the paste.
Okay, so I've got it glued.
Now, one
Not
thing
giving
you
it a
can
good
do
job, but
that I did forget, words,
words.
words, not
Words
there.
are hard. Words are hard.
Exactly. They are hard. In my case, sometimes they're absolutely non-existent. Anyway, where where you have glued, you can see where
Uh-huh.
you've glued. You can use that for your pinch,
Uh-huh.
so it goes to the top. So when your little piece, hold it. When your little piece is finished, it's glued somewhere at the top and not down the bottom where it could come away. I'm not saying
Uh-huh.
it will, but it's just a little tip for if you want things to look
Okay.
a little bit nicer. So that's where my thumb is, where I've
Yeah.
glued it. Pull to the side, the center part,
Okay.
pinch, and there is another marquee, like we did before.
Okay, so how do you curl that? Because you've got ones that are curly.
Okay, how you can curl it? Let's see. You can use a pen, if or a pencil, something small.
Uh-huh.
It just depends on it. End of a paintbrush.
Uh-huh.
What you do is
Okay.
you hold it, and I've just put glue everywhere. Good on me. Glue on black. Yeah, that'll work. I've done it again. Anyway, um, there is no side I can see.
So like that?
Yep. Put the end up and just wrap it round. Wrap the tip around, and it's like however far you want to have it
Oh,
curled.
okay. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so
Actually,
we've got
just
a teardrop, a tight coil, and this thingamadoo. Um,
you can actually coil the first one that we
uh-huh.
did
Uh-huh.
and put them together like that,
I
and
think
you've
this,
made like a yin and yang kind of.
yeah, I think this one's a different size though, so I can't do that. Yours are all uniform, mine are not.
Well, that's because I'm using all uniform 5mm strips, my dear. So
Yes, I know.
it's
Okay.
I'm cheating. I'm using coloring paper.
So what are the scissors for?
Well, scissors are basically if you just want to cut a piece off that is too long.
Right.
I prefer to tear it. Some
Right.
might not like that, but some can just cut it. Maybe you want to, like I said, if people don't like tearing, and you want a certain length of paper,
Uh-huh.
say I want this one to be half. I tear it. You can always use the scissors to cut it. Scissors are always handy. You can't have paper without scissors, I suppose.
Now, you showed me before how to do a very fiddly flower using
I
the
did.
scissors.
Just
Using
trying
the
to remember.
scissors.
Oh, the insert. Now I'm with you. Thank you. Okay, now that's recommended. It's for here. I'll show you an example of one. Here, I'll get my. Here we go. That's one of these. You can do it like a center of a flower.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you have a nice wide piece like you do, absolutely perfect. Oh, God. Absolutely perfect. If you don't, so like me, what you can do is get 2 strips. And with your glue, I'm going to use my glue bottle for this. And glue 2 strips together. To make it just that little bit bigger. Can I do this without making a mess? Do you know what? I'd forgotten all about that with the scissors. Well done. Now I've got glue all over me, so nice time for okay, so you have your piece, and like you, just start at one end and start snipping. Now, if you're not too fussed on how wide your little, what do you call them? Tabs,
Petals.
petals, strips,
I'm not being particular on
bits of
size.
cut metal. Okay.
I don't know about cut metal, but
Yeah, cut a strip of metal with a pair of scissors.
that's really good freaking scissors.
Oh, or you do what I do and cut the whole thing in half because I cut
Oh,
too far.
don't cut
But
it.
we can,
Yeah.
sorry, we can remedy that. Oh God, I nearly did it again.
It's supposed to cut halfway, not in half.
Yeah, that's all right. We can remedy that. That's easy fixed. Oh, some lengths are wider.
Oh, mine are all over the place.
Yeah, mine too. Like,
So
mine
basically
are
what
like, why did you cut it?
basically what we're doing is we're just putting little tiny cuts all the way down the paper.
Yep. Now, admittedly, without a slotting tool, this could be a little bit harder to put together.
Well, we will soon find out.
Oh, but it's basically, once you've done that, it's basically just like making another coil.
Right. Now, you need these little tiny fiddly scissors because they've got a thinner tip, right?
Yes, if you can use the bigger ones, but you'd have to be extremely careful not to do what I did, and I did that with
Tiny scissors.
with the tiny scissors, is cut straight through it. But I mean, at some point, it does get a little
Fiddly.
fiddly.
Oh, wow. You've already started rolling it. I'm still cutting.
Yeah, I've still got to fix mine though.
That's true.
Shouldn't need to cut it. Glue it. Just keep rolling it okay, as best you can. Just like a coil.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be too tight because of the little cuts you've put in the paper.
Right.
But as long as it's tight without breaking it. See, mine's already a little. See how because I had that little accident.
Yeah.
You can see how part of it's tight and part of it's still loose, but it
Right.
doesn't matter. It matters not. Get your handy dandy glue.
I'm
Don't be
still
like me.
twirling. I'm still
I am
twirling.
quicker.
I'm still
I'm
twirling.
still twirling.
I'm twirling.
Twirling your life away, my dear.
Something like that. It's a good thing this stuff doesn't cut my fingers. I'm telling you.
It is. It is. And of course, you can use so many different colors.
Yes. Okay, so do you have to do this tight, or can you put it in the little machined hole here and loosen it and then glue it?
Um, no, I try and keep it as tight as you can.
Okay.
So then you will get the effect
Okay.
of is it the stamens of the flower, the middle part of the flower.
Yeah.
So once you've glued it, it looks something like that.
Oh,
Yep, it's dinner time.
ah. Well, I think I think we've got a couple of the very basics um, put together here.
Yeah,
And I think once we get this one together, we might have enough basics to pretty much make up. Oh, there's one more that I think we should learn is this one. And then I think um,
the
that should be,
marquee.
yeah, then I
Yeah,
think that should be pretty close to the beginner stuff, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, now you just
All
feather
right.
it out.
That's right. Then you just tease all starting from obviously from the outside,
Working your way in.
working your way in. Just tease all the little cuts that you've made. Whoops. I mean, if you do find
I
your
have a
work
part.
is starting to spring apart,
Uh-huh.
what you can do is get a bit of glue, turn it over, and underneath it, just put some glue in there
Yeah,
and just wait a little bit, and it should keep things together while you're
working it.
working the top
What do you
of
think?
it. Wonderful.
So I made a purple flower.
You made a purple flower? Oh, gosh. I made a green one.
Yay!
There you go.
I
I
made a
made a
green
green
one
one.
last time.
You did. Very proud.
All right, now,
Wash my brush card.
yeah, my brushes.
Keep putting too much. Don't put too much glue. So what do?
Put too much glue on it.
I put too much glue on it. Okay.
That's all right.
Put the tip back on my glue bottle so the glue doesn't
Run all over.
set. Okay. All right.
Now, this one needs to be a tight coil as well, right? And then
No,
we
not for
put
the no, not for the marquee. It doesn't. It just needs to be.
just a coil.
It just needs to be a coil, like the one we put in the circle.
Yeah.
Yes, my husband just said, yeah, there's more glue. You just need more glue.
More glue.
I'm like, no, thanks.
No,
It
no,
gets
no
messy.
more. No more glue. We're not huffing the stuff. We're just using
Just,
little bits.
just little bits of glue, because it will stick.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so, but it
Well,
does stick, and it will also stop the glue from um, going over to things that you don't want glued down
yeah.
or glued together.
Right.
And it also stops having little. I can't remember what one of the people said it used to be, snow drops or snowflakes, or
Yeah.
because on darker paper you can actually do see the glue dried,
Yeah.
and you really don't want that on your work.
It does make kind of a mess when.
It can make a bit of a mess,
Okay.
but you learn all these things as you go along.
Well, yeah. Right now we're just doing the basics. All right.
Yeah,
Now we're going to put this in a hole
you can
and hopefully it doesn't spring.
put yours in a hole. I'm just going to go doing.
Yeah, well, I should have just gone boing because the hole just didn't work. Um,
I'm good.
okay, I'm going to paste this now.
Yes, glue it. Whoops, glue it
Okay. Put
down. Oh, I
that
didn't let mine
there.
spring enough. Oh, doesn't matter.
Mine's boinged, but now it's not gluing.
Shh. You might need to put a bit more glue.
Glue.
See, I didn't let mine spring enough.
That's what
Never mind.
what happened to mine.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Right.
Now mine is all wonky because I had to pinch it the wrong way to. What a mess! This is just a mess.
It can be messy, but that's half the fun.
No, no, my coil is not even round.
Work it within your fingers, and you'll be fine. See, look, just roll it in your fingers. You'll be
That's what
fine.
I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. But I think I chose
But
something a little bit too wide.
well, what you can do is take it, unpeel it, take where you've glued it. No, that should be fine. That'll be fine, because what we're going to do.
I fix it. I
There you
fixed it.
go then. What were you worried about?
I think I fixed it.
Just a minute. We're going to squish it.
Yeah.
So you take it between your fingers,
Uh-huh.
like so,
Okay.
and you can do one of two things.
Uh-huh.
You can squeeze it like that. It's like push your thumbs in, your two fingers down. There's your crescent.
Okay. Okay. Well, mine looks like a boomerang, but okay.
Well, that do. What you can do, just to save time, if you don't want your crescent, you've changed your
Uh-huh.
mind,
Uh-huh.
just pinch the outside again. Yeah, it looks a bit messy. Try and pinch it so it's like a circle again.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, okay, it's messy, but it doesn't matter because we're going to pinch it again. Just put your two fingers together, your thumb and finger together, and
Uh-huh.
pinch.
Uh-huh.
There's your marquee. Then make an S out of it.
Yes. Okay.
This means you can
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
thumb and finger on the bottom one, and of course on the top. One goes left, one goes right, and you've made an S.
I've made a messy yes, but I made one.
You made one. You ought to see some of mine. Oh Lord.
I think if I had a smaller piece of paper, it probably would have worked better, but
Do I have a messy marquee? Yeah.
I've got
Look, there's that
plenty
one.
of them.
Look, it's not exactly. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Here's an ugly one. There you go. See? I didn't even glue it down properly. Look, a little
Even
tag sticking up.
even
So
your ugly ones are cute.
they will never be uniform. I mean, maybe one day, and
Yeah. After doing this for 60
After
billion years.
exactly after doing this for doing nothing but marquees for the rest of your life, you might get them dead
Uh-huh.
on perfect.
So
Which are quite
that gives us a teardrop, a flower, a tight coil, and a loose coil because we did a loose coil before we did all these, right?
yes. A
And
loose coil
then,
is just basically what you do before you make a teardrop or a marquee out of it.
right. And then what is this one called?
Do you know what? I have absolutely no idea. I think it's called a flower. Yeah,
No, no, not the flower,
not the flower.
the teardrop that
Oh, it's just a curved.
curls.
Sorry, it's just a curved teardrop.
Yeah, okay.
Just a curved teardrop.
And you can put those together to get a yin and yang type of thing.
Yep, which is what I did. Which is what I did. Can't even words anymore.
Right
And
there.
then you can put that on there.
Uh-huh.
Put that there,
Awesome.
and I don't know, maybe that there, and we just made something.
Uh-huh.
Exactly what I have no idea. Yeah,
Something pretty.
something pretty.
So I'm going to make one more and see if I can make that thingy a little bit nicer.
Which one? Because I'll make it
The,
with you.
the S one.
The S one. That way. It can be tricky, but it's half the fun.
All right. Make it glued.
You make a blue one.
No, I'm trying to get the glue to stick. It's a messy glue job.
Might need to make your own glue.
No,
No,
no, I just
no,
didn't glue it very straight. I didn't glue it
you're not,
straight.
you're not, you're not, you're not going to go in the kitchen and make your own glue.
No,
No. Okay.
I
I don't
have
blame
done that before. My children ate it.
you. You're putting enough salt in it.
My oldest thought it was nummy. Thought I was making bread.
Well, that is how you make bread, really, isn't it? Just
Yes. All right.
okay. I'm going to put mine in the circle.
You've done your
Ding.
sproing.
Up to my spring. Oh, look at that. See, that's one of the good things about doing your coils in the circles is that your stuff will then be
Uniform.
uniform. Okay, it's not going to stay then, and I'm not going to fiddle with it.
Yeah.
It's roughly where it should be. Handy dandy. Clip, glue, question mark. Here we go. There we go.
And then
Now
we
with this,
pinch.
now we pinch both sides like so.
Uh-huh.
And you could just leave it at that.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Now you have an eyeball.
You have an eyeball, and make 4 or 5 more eyeballs, and you've got an eyeball flower. Stick that in the middle of eyeball flower.
Okay, so
Look,
that one's at least prettier.
I've made a night design. Okay.
Uh-huh. You've made an
Stop playing
emoji.
with paper. All right.
You've made an emoji.
I probably have too. take both ends. One pinches down the bottom, one pinches at the top, and go in opposite directions, facing towards each other. So, yeah. And there's your marquee. Oh, mine's got another
Very
center in it.
cool.
Okay. And so with the marquees, you can get enough of them together, you can make a flower out of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. You've got
Yeah.
little leaves and all right. So that I think is pretty close to the basics
Yeah.
of what we would kind of need for putting together a small picture. Other than the comb one,
Yeah.
which I will get you to teach me off camera because I know your kitties need to be fed, and they're probably getting very grumpy at you at this point. And
I'm starting to get surrounded. I have to.
they, she has a few cats and well, three cats, and they have a certain dinner time, and they get very, very stalky if they don't eat their dinner on time.
It's like if you ever have that fear of you're being looked at, and
Have
when you
cats that
have,
are past their dinner time.
and it's like, okay, human needs to feed. So
So, we will let Sam go feed her cats, and we will, of course, thank her very much for being on the in the corner with me and
not
helping
a
me out
problem.
in learning how to color with paper. Is there
Anytime.
anything that you have completed that is an
Yes.
entire picture colored with paper?
Yes, I have three.
All right.
I'll just move this stuff up out of the way. There is
So these are things that we can work towards.
definitely this one, especially
Uh-huh.
because it's used the ones that we've just learned how to, we've just
How
shown
to
how to
do.
do.
Okay.
And different colors, different ways of putting them together. Today
Right.
you have a mandala.
Awesome. Okay.
Um, this is a little bit more, this is more to do with the comb. This one. These ones I did many years ago. And I had an old canvas that really needed
Needed some
help.
love.
So I just went and placed things on the canvas, higgledy-piggledy, and
There you have it. It's all pretty.
there you have it. Um, this work is done with a comb.
And that's quite a bit advanced. So,
It's a little advanced. It's a little
yeah,
bit more fiddly to do.
yeah, and with thicker paper like I have probably would be a little bit harder to do. I'd have to
Um,
I'd have to slice some really thin paper.
I've never seen it done. Put it this way, I've never seen it done in 1 centimeter wide paper. So that would be interesting to see what that would look like.
Well, here we go. No.
Next week on
Next week.
next week on
Next week on Try It Tuesday.
Try It Tuesday.
By then, Sam will teach me how to do it so that I can try it.
'Cause she's never done it herself.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This I tried. I've always wanted to try and do an initial.
That is so pretty.
Um, this is done. Is that I think that is 5 mil. No,
Okay.
10. I don't know, to be honest. Um, but that's like say making an outline on
Uh-huh.
this, and then following. I had trouble following it, and of course because this is MDF
Uh-huh.
or whatever it is.
It's a
You
board.
can't put pins through it.
Right.
So I made a template of an S, covered it in greaseproof paper because we don't have present seal here.
Right.
I was able to form the outline
Right.
and pin it in place and let it dry and then transform it onto here
Oh, nice. Okay.
and glue it onto here. So that's another way of doing it. And this is scroll work, which is really, really easy.
Yeah.
This is the leaf done with a cone.
All right.
So I love scroll work.
And we'll look more into the scroll work and the comb stuff next week.
Yeah.
Um, if you're willing to join me again for next week
I would love to.
and show us how to
Great
do those
fun.
sorts of things, that'd be awesome. Oh,
And
that's
that's my latest one I
beautiful.
finished.
That is so pretty. That's gorgeous. Now the butterfly. Is the butterfly an
Dragonfly.
add-on? No, no, the butterfly.
Oh, the butterfly. I am sorry. Yeah. Where's my coffee? Need more coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm human again. Now, the, starting to grow a bit there. Yeah, the butterfly was used from you know hello Shiva. You know how you in I guess hobby
So
stores,
so it's
craft
Fendra.
stores. Um,
It's Fendra basically.
yeah, it's card making.
Yeah,
Card making stuff.
yeah, the Fendra.
I will find.
I
Here
think
they
that's
are.
what it's called.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Embellishments. There's the word.
embellishments.
There you go.
The pretty
Um,
things.
the pretty things you put on. It's like
It's so
that.
pretty. Yeah,
The little half, just the embellishments
yeah,
from
the embellishment.
your cheap stores.
And
Cheapy. It's all right.
that's
She just tried
all
to eat my
paper.
work. It's fine.
That's all paper other than the little embellishments,
Yes,
which is just awesome.
and I tried to put stickles on it to make it go
And
all that dragony color.
just so all you know that that is actually a picture that is out of a coloring book.
Yes, it is.
So that picture comes from, if I remember correctly, Zentangled Dragons. No, Zentangled
Zentangle Dragonfly
Dragonflies.
by
Uh,
Creative Haven.
right. Yeah.
Um, this this part is.
And the rest you kind of
And
got
I looked at the
tired
rest
of
of the
it.
picture and I'm like, I really don't know what to do. And I had these things lying around. I thought, I'll just white it out and just place that on. Call it done.
Uh, but the dragonfly and the heart shapes and
Yes, the
the
yeah, from there down. Try and cover it. The heart
yeah,
shape,
yeah,
not that bit, but the rest, yes, certainly
absolutely wonderful.
from the colouring. So you
Absolutely
can really
wonderful.
use a colouring page
Yeah, yep,
and colour
to
with paper.
create that, which is awesome. All right, I'm going to let you go and get your kitties fed before you get in trouble. And next week, if you are willing to join us and teach us a few more of the more advanced stuff,
I would be honoured
um,
to.
then we will learn a few more things, and then maybe in the third week, we'll see about actually coloring a picture with paper.
Would love to.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And, again, I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with me and telling me about this phenomenon of coloring without pencils. I'm saving my pencils.
You say save your pencils. Use paper.
Color with paper.
Color
That's
with
awesome.
paper.
All right,
It has
Sam.
been a pleasure, Renee. It really has.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I will see
Thank you
you
for having
again
me.
next
Yes, you
week.
will.
All right.
Okay, great.
Bye bye for now.
Bye bye.
All right. So Again, thank you so much to my guest for joining me. And we're going to clear this up and finish this off now. So we were able to make oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry. We were able to make a teardrop, a S curve. This one's a little wonky. So I made this one here instead. Um, a bent teardrop. So if I was to bend this one like this, I think is what Sam said, and then put them together like so. And then we have a yin and yang. I'll put it over here on the black so you can see it better. So we have a yin and yang. We have bent teardrops and teardrops. We have a tight coil. And of course, to make these, you do a loose coil. And then we have our flower center and a full teardrop. And then, of course, we have our mess up. I don't know what this is, but Sam said we would be learning more about this later on, I guess. So she said, hold on to it. You may need it. That is what happens when you mess things up. All right, and all of these things are made with the construction paper, a bit of glue, and some turning and twirling and rolling of paper. All right, guys, with that, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. Again, Sam, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that we will see everyone again next week when we have Sam back to show us a little bit more of an advanced selection of things to make. Always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye bye for now.